Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Let's start.
नमस्कार, वेलकम टू कॉमन इंडियन वॉइस। आजकल हम लोगों को जनरल टॉपिक्स में सबसे ज्यादा हैपनिंग न्यूज कश्मीर फाइल्स की मूवी जो बना है उस पे आज मैं भी देख के आई हूँ। एंड मेरे साथ आज जयप्रकाश फ्रॉम कैलकाटा एंड समीर फ्रॉम बॉम्बे, दे हैव आल्सो जॉइंड, दे हैव आल्सो वॉच्ड द मूवी। आज हम लोग एक काइंड ऑफ रिव्यू देने वाले हैं। आई कैन से जस्ट वन थिंग, मूवी देख के बाहर निकलने के बाद आई कैन नॉट एक्सप्लेन व्हाट आई वाज गोइंग थ्रू। वॉचिंग इट वाज हॉरिफाइंग। मैं सिर्फ इतना सोच रही थी, देख के हमको हॉरिफाइंग लग रहा था जिनके ऊपर बीता और जो आज भी भटक रहे हैं, आज भी जो लोग अपने घर वापस नहीं जा पा रहे, उन लोगों का क्या। हम तो शायद सिर्फ लिप सर्विस ही करेंगे। एनीवे, टू ओपन अप द डिस्कशन आई वुड लाइक जेपी जयप्रकाश, जिनको हम जेपी बुलाते हैं। जेपी प्लीज आप अपना ओपनिंग स्टेटमेंट दीजिए, देन समीर।
Very difficult statement about this movie. You enter into a mood where you actually feel you're going to see something which is going to freshen your mind, but actually it was horrifying, which you actually use the word. What was explained, what we heard was totally different. This movie has shattered all facts which was narrated about the KP Exodus. The entire truth was diversified. This person, the filmmakers, the team, they have done a miraculous job. Miraculous job. Every eye in that cinema hall were in tears. Every hall, every person, every individual. Not a single person whose eyes were not wet. One thing I liked, all were in one voice. The unity. An ecosystem being built, that this was something which needed to be united, but was fought individually by only one community, with no political backing, no support. Hats off to these people who have actually made this. But heart cries for those people who suffered. What they must have gone through that night in those 48 hours. Can't imagine. Beyond imaginations. Samir, what you say? You also watched the movie?
Yes, I watched the movie. At the outset, thankful to the makers of the film. I had a chance to watch it in this premiere or whatever you call it.
Yeah, I saw that.
But I want to tell you, JP and Esha, this is a shock to the system or ecosystem, as we call it. It's a big shock, a shock that was necessary. You know, we have seen a lot of change bottom up happening since 2014, but the change is gradual and it is self-sustaining also. But sometimes you come to a point where you need that little booster dose, you know, which just shocks everyone out of out of their wits. Mind-numbing experience, absolutely. I didn't in the least expect I would be shaken so badly. To be very honest, I don't want to play spoiler because a lot of people are yet to watch the film. But there was a scene where I shut my eyes and I couldn't watch it. people next to me also, at least 1 in 3 were eyes shut and only waiting for the sounds and counting how many shots were done.
Even I did the same thing.
That was, but मैं कह रहा हूँ ना, ये आवश्यक था to create the real awakening from within, because until now what we have read has been watered down. You might have seen in the last 2-3 days there are videos that are now re-emerging. यही videos मैंने 4 साल पहले पोस्ट किए थे, कई लोगों ने पोस्ट किए थे, मैंने ही नहीं. उनको इतना ट्रैक्शन नहीं मिल रहा था because people would watch it and move on. But today these videos posted by a lot of people, within minutes they are shared by hundreds of people. These are videos of usual suspects, people who have been projected in the movie. उनके live videos है जो real characters जिनको, of course the movie has, because of the limitations of not to show many characters, they would have fused 3 or 4 real life characters into one to bring out the essence of that character and everyone around him. मतलब डंके की चोट पे इंडिया में लोग बैठ के कहते हैं कश्मीर वाज नेवर अ पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया, कुछ हुआ ही नहीं था, गवर्नर ने भगा दिया कश्मीरी हिंदुओं को, जिन्होंने आईएएफ ऑफिसर्स को पॉइंट ब्लैंक गोली मारी उनको उस वक्त के प्रधानमंत्री फेलिसिटेट करते हैं, शेक हैंड करते हैं. मतलब लज्जा से हमने यार डूब मरना चाहिए. दिस इज नॉट इवन सेलिंग योर सोल, या दिस इज लाइक क्या, what to say. So I think this was shaken up. I think, like JP Da said, the entire auditorium was, the cinema hall was completely stunned into silence. मतलब बड़े उस वक्त, there was quite a few people from the industry, many people like Bharat Dabolkar and all, and you should have seen them even just after the interval. People were quite shocked. So one can imagine what would be the impact at the end, which is the real part where they've shown so much. Bapre. Kudos to the entire cast, crew, story writers for all the efforts. लोग कहते हैं आज ये files बनाओ, वो files बनाओ, but what I can understand after having spoken with a few people there, it's not been an easy ride for them. 4 वर्षों का उनकी ये तपस्या कहो, रिसर्च कहो, जो भी कहो, it's taken 4 years.
They did a very good research, but
absolutely. And JP, to be very honest, this could have gone either ways. The
either
movie
ways, yes,
possibly just died down in a whimper. It hadn't got that sudden critical burst. अभी तो खैर PM नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने कह दिया तो
yes,
now that there
no stopping now.
No stopping, and icing on the cake would be if government of India nominates this as its entry to all international film awards.
It should,
because जैसे यूरोप का हॉलोकॉस्ट सबको पता है, वैसे इंडिया का
this will nail everything down.
Exactly. मुझे एक और चीज लगता है कि जैसे ये कश्मीरी पंडित्स जो भी है, एक तो हाईली क्वालिफाइड थे, और ये जो बात पे बोलते ना हेडमास्टर का बच्चा एंड उसने जो उसके ऊपर जुल्म हो रहा था उसके लिए बंदूक उठा लिया. अभी एक्चुअली अगर देखेंगे, मैंने देखा है गिरजा टिक्कू की भतीजी ने एक स्टेटमेंट दिया है, ऑफ इंडिया पढ़ा मैंने, एंड दूसरे भी जो फैमिलीज जो लोग इफेक्ट हुए थे उन लोगों ने भी स्टेटमेंट दिया. दे हैव either they are staying in Delhi or they have gone into states, but one thing जो यहाँ पे जो दिखाया गया है कि पढ़ाई लिखाई नहीं छोड़ सकते. they kept studying, they have bettered themselves. बंदूक किसने लिया उनमें से? और दुख मुझे इस बात का होता है कि कुछ जैसे मुझे हमेशा लगता है कि जूस ने जो किया है ना, उन्होंने जिंदा रखा है, पूरे वर्ल्ड को कभी भूलने नहीं दिया. जो मूवी में भी बोला गया है कि भूलने नहीं दिया, कि होलोकास्ट को उन्होंने भूलने नहीं दिया. मगर हमारे देश में जानबूझ के इसको हश इट अप कर दिया. एंड चलो ठीक है, वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट ने हश अप किया, मगर मुझे ये नहीं समझ में आया कि जो लोग भुगते हैं, जो लोग सफर किए हैं, वो लोग कैसे दूसरे नैरेटिव को मान लेते हैं. ये मुझे ऑनेस्टली इतने सालों में भी मेरा हजम नहीं हो रहा था मुझसे. आज की ये मूवी, मुझे लगता है मूवी वाज वेरी नेसेसरी. लाइक यू सेड समीर, इट वाज रियली वेरी नेसेसरी एंड ऑसम काम किया है एक्टर्स. मतलब पल्लवी जोशी जी, आई लिटरली वांटेड टू स्लैप हर. आई वांटेड टू स्लैप हर.
ईशा दी, वो श्रीकांत मंडलेकर जो बिट्टा का रोल किया है,
हाँ, बिट्टा एंड यासीन मलिक कंबाइन टुगेदर.
वो मूवी के बाद मिले थे. वेरी सिंपल अनअज्यूमिंग पर्सन. आई हैव सीन अ कपल ऑफ हिज अदर परफॉर्मेंसेस. मैंने उनसे कहा, भाई आपको प्रणाम, बिकॉज ये यदि एक ड्रामा होता, स्टेज पे प्ले होता, तो लोग चप्पल जूते फेंकते आप पे. And that is the real compliment to a stage artist. If he as a villain can make everyone so angry that they want to literally, मतलब ये उसकी एक performance कला का एक वो it's a massive compliment, to his.
If you can make a person hate yourself with your role, nothing like it.
Nothing like
Absolutely.
it. And
believe me,
last ending,
Vivek ji has chosen Pallavi ji.
in the ending.
Vivek ji
Sorry, I
has
was
chosen Pallavi
getting a
ji in
call.
this character.
Sorry, हाँ, नहीं, मैं बोल रही थी कि एंडिंग में गूज़बम्प्स नहीं आया क्या?
Goosebumps was clappings were never ending.
सर में बम्प हो गया था.
It was blank.
Totally, and we sat. We few of us sat till all the time. I think majority of the audience sat till the entire post the credits were done, and then we walked out of the cinema hall. So many senior people. शरद पोंक्षे जी थे हमारी बगल वाली सीट में, जो सावरकर पे इतना मतलब उन्होंने लिखा हुआ है. वो उनका तो एक्सप्रेशन मतलब ऐसा था कि he was totally stunned.
My son saw it. An elderly gentleman was sitting beside him. बोले, मम्मा यकीन नहीं करोगे, full movie में he had his
fist
बना के and दांत किरकिर कर रहे थे.
जेपी दा, आज एक वीडियो आया है. It is in the it's someone shot it in the movie hall. There's an ex-senior CRPF
I saw
officer.
Yes, I saw that.
Man, उनका खुलासा सुन के मतलब मैं तो कह रहे कि हम लोग कंट्रोल रूम में थे, हम लोगों को मतलब, but we were not able to act because the government decided not to act.
Sudhanshu Trivedi, na Bhau?
हाँ जी, बिल्कुल.
All the Congress handles from last 4 days, they have been tweeting what? Jagmohan is an RSS member. Jagmohan, who was the governor that time, Jagmohan ji. And 85 seats support to VP Singh. Correct? Farooq Abdullah, the CM. Sudhanshu Trivedi today put down the facts. 19th, 21st it happened. 19th it happened. 19th Jagmohan ji was appointed as the governor. He was in Jammu that day. 21st, by the time he reached Srinagar, this entire episode was over. Farooq Abdullah left to London. Said nothing else.
He went to London?
Yeah, he left Srinagar. And the statement he gave that nothing of this has happened. This is all fake. There is no exodus. There are no killings and nothing has happened. This is Sudhanshu Trivedi's News 18 debate. You can review and watch. He just shattered Ragini Nayak's entire whatever she was trying to put down as Congress's mouthpiece. It was shattered down by Sudhanshu Trivedi today.
I think the Congress is shooting itself in its own foot.
Actually, they are doing it.
I have a question.
Actually, nobody needs Congress Mukh Bharat. Congress will do it itself.
ये लोग जितना कर रहे हैं ना, वो अपनी खोद रहे हैं वो लोग, डाउनफॉल
They're digging their own graves. They're digging their own graves.
मुझे एक
There's no
सवाल
doubt about it.
पूछना है दोनों से कि we have बिट्टा कराटे giving an interview, right? We have यासिन मलिक accepting. मुझे ये पूछना है कि जब उन्होंने ऑन एयर पूरा एक्सेप्ट कर लिया, एक तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बोला बहुत साल हो गया विटनेसेस नहीं है, क्यों ये इंटरव्यूज विटनेस के हिसाब से नहीं यूज किया? एंड गवर्नमेंट ने, प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने उनके साथ हाथ मिलाते हुए फोटो खींचा है, ऐसा क्यों हुआ? क्या इन लोगों का सब कुछ मर गया था? व्हाट वाज द रीजन?
आफ्टर पार्टीशन, मैम, पार्टीशन के बाद how much political will was there in 1984 to give justice to Sikhs? When did they get? After Modi ji came into power.
बहुत सारे केसेस तो हुए नहीं अभी तक,
Still pending. Right? 88, this killing started in Kashmir. Selective. So do you think it's a one-night history? No. There was no political will. There was never a will to solve this issue or give them justice. How can we blame Supreme Court? Political will was not there. Why today all the ministries are supporting this movie and they want this to come forward, to come into limelight? Because they now have the will, the power to get them justice. We all blame them, na? 370 हट गया, 35 से हट गए, कश्मीरी पंडित वापस क्यों नहीं गए? अरे भाई, गाड़ी में थोड़ी बैठना टिकट लेके। उसका
भी स्टैटिस्टिक कल पार्लियामेंट में निर्मला जी ने दिया है, कितने घर बने हैं, कितने इंटरिम शेल्टर्स बने, कितने फैमिलीज को रिहैबिलिटेट किया गया है। It's work in progress. देखिए, हो सकता है it is not up to certain people's expectation at the pace at which it's happening, but हो रहा है। 32 वर्षों में जो नहीं हुआ है वो उसकी पहल की है। और सबसे बड़ी बात तो आप सबको याद, जिन्होंने पिक्चर देखा है, वो पुष्कर नाथ जी जो वो प्लेकार्ड लेके घूमते हैं जब होम मिनिस्टर आते हैं, तो उनका प्लेकार्ड ये क्या कहता है? सीन वाज आर्टिकल 370 को हटाओ। ये मेरे हिसाब से कश्मीरी पंडितों की सबसे अहम डिमांड थी, जो हुई है ना। और उसको मैं इसके पहले भी मैंने ट्वीट किया, मेरे ख्याल से 1947 के बाद से अब तक सबसे बड़ा पॉलिटिकल रिफॉर्म यही है ना, रिपील ऑफ बिगेस्ट abrogation of 370,
abrogation of 370 and 35 the biggest. Matlab, this was one political will and the guts which this government has shown.
Absolutely,
we cannot
Esha,
deny this.
To answer your question about the videos of that karate, whatever, kung fu fellow, and this Yasin, see, these guys, after all, they are terrorists. Right? JP Da gave an analogy of 1984. Right? 1984 के बाद उस वक्त के प्रधानमंत्री ने क्या कहा?
बड़ा पेड़
हिलता है।
बड़ा पेड़, तो वो भी तो एक कन्फेशन ही है। और कौन इन्वॉल्व थे इसमें? वो जो टाइटलर और वही लोग थे ना, जो जेपी दा, आई डोंट गेट ऑल द नेम्स राइट नाउ, बट सारे कांग्रेसी तो मशाले लेके जा रहे थे सड़कों पे, लीडर्स। क्या आपको नहीं लगता?
Four major people were there.
मैं उस टाइम में कानपुर में थी। कानपुर वाज वन ऑफ द मेजर प्लेसेस जहाँ पे दंगे हुए थे, भयंकर हुआ था। एंड आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर दोज डेज, आई वाज इन 10th। हॉरिफाइंग था। मैं एक चीज बोल रही हूँ, एक और चीज, जैसे ये लोग बोलते हैं ना कश्मीरी पंडित वापस क्यों नहीं गए, आज ये मूवी देखने के बाद क्या आप दोनों को भी नहीं लग रहा है कि भाई इतना दहशत और इतना भयंकर चीजें जो मतलब जो झेल के आए हैं, इज इट वेरी इजी फॉर देम टू गो बैक? अनुपम खेर वेंट बैक, व्हाट हैपेंड? ऐसा भी तो हुआ है ना जो कश्मीर वापस जाना चाहते थे, एंड हमने लास्ट ईयर भी देखा है, कश्मीर वापस गए, दुकान खोले, उनको गोली मार दिया। एंड ये लोग क्या बोलते हैं, गवर्नमेंट क्या कर रही है? बट तुम लोग अपने बैकग्राउंड्स में टेररिस्ट उगा रहे हो, उसका क्या? हेट हम लोग कर रहे हैं, बट हेट कश्मीरी पंडित्स ने भी किया, तो उन्होंने बंदूक नहीं उठाया। तो ये जो नैरेटिव्स हो रहा है, नैरेटिव जो सेटअप हुआ है, आपको नहीं लगता है कि ये, जैसे समीर ने बोला है, बहुत जोरदार जन्नाटेदार झापड़ पड़ी है पब्लिक को?
इस सवाल का एक सोशियो इकोनॉमिक रीजनिंग भी है। आप सोचिए ना, 1990 में जब ये हुआ, उस वक्त जो 30-40 की उम्र के थे, वो आज दे आर इन देयर late 60s, 70s. So they are already dependent on their children. Correct? Those who are 2 and 3 and 4 probably don't even have any memory. They might be traumatized, but they may not be able to recollect the chronology. जो बीच का lot था, who were 15 and who probably were able to, are able to recount all the horrors. Many of them today would be settled in some part of the country or the world where their life has perhaps forcibly moved on, and they are now looking after their family. They are well settled in a job, in a profession, in a business. उनके लिए आज ये सब wind up करके फिर से वहां जाना, perhaps, it is a long cherished dream for them to maybe go back to their homeland after retirement. But at this point in time, it may not be a practical option. So, which is why you would see across the age spectrum, there would be many who are still not able to, get out of their current environment and go back to where they came from. It will happen once the economy of the state takes off, industry starts setting up. Automatically a lot of young people, why only Kashmiris? I think a lot of rest of India people who till now could not think of buying
gradually land. I think the law has been also been established now that they can sell land to outsiders and industries.
Yeah.
I think that went along with
But
I think how this government is working very practically and very gradually and with very good steps.
Sorry, JP, I wanted to ask you, what would you want to say about the brazen shamelessness that is being depicted by the Lieutenant Kapal, by the opposition, by all the people who are actually guilty of either not doing anything or after that sweeping it under the carpet? आज सबसे ज्यादा शोर वही लोग मचा रहे हैं.
They have to, na? Because this file, if it opens, na, it opens the entire cabal, not the cabal which is shouting today. These are the shoulders which are being used. These cabal are just puppets. They are nothing more than the puppets. But the larger picture, the person who plays the puppets, can you ever see them? You can never see them. These people will get exposed gradually. Wait for that. I'm waiting for that day.
Even I am waiting.
That day we all will wait, because we'll pounce on them on social media. And now we understand why these files were swiped under the carpet.
छुपा के रखे.
It's like this. I use this line to all these people in the cabal who keep talking, and they say that these people are victims, they are not the oppressors. ये तो एक बहाना है. It's for them, it's never about the mullah, it's about the mullah. It's all got to,
absolutely 100%.
So the entire narrative has always, an underlying reason behind the narrative is always money. The amount of central aid that would have gone to Kashmir in 30 years is unimaginable. The figures were released by the government when they abrogated 370.
Exactly.
Where does that money go?
Nobody
No
knows.
questions asked. State administration is completely in charge of disbursing it. इनके lavish lifestyles को fund कौन करेगा? These are the जो JP दा कह रहे हैं ना, those are the real head on the shoulders who are आज firing. जो जब कारगिल हो रहा था तो भाई साहब गोल्फ खेल रहे थे.
Actually.
So, you know, in a state, जैसे आपने अभी JP दा ने कहा ना, वो तो लंदन चला गया. So, you know, that who funds all these people? ये इनके सारे छोटे cottage industries. हम कहते हैं cottage industries, but how much money would have come from various NGOs and other things, all in the name of rehabilitation of poor?
The main thing is the cabal who are doing these all are being funded by them. Imagine the amount of funds these heads have. Think of this. I'm
Beyond
thinking that
imagination.
way. If so many people are supporting with these mullahs, what you say about, how many mullahs do these people have? And what capable they are of doing all these? That everything, the ecosystem, they run it like in minutes, like a catalytic converter, it works. Before we react, it's viral.
True.
वो डायलॉग याद है मूवी में, जब तक सच जूते पहन लेता है, झूठ आधी दुनिया का सैर करके आ जाता है.
सैर करके वापस आ जाता है.
Superb dialogues.
That line was marvelous.
Extraordinary. I want JP and Samir to address the viewers and tell them in very briefly why they should not miss this movie. And I actually want to thank the team which has come up with this movie. Kashmir Files was also wow, and this one is also superb.
Ma'am, I want to say just one thing. Don't miss this movie. It's an eye-opener. If you don't watch it, tomorrow, it may happen. It may happen. Not to you maybe, but your children. If today we are not united, mind it, we are already separated. They just need to put a thin line inside.
Absolutely.
Bow yours.
Yes, Samir.
On similar lines, if you see the character Krishna, today a lot of our youth is in the same Krishna woke mood. They need to see this to shock them out of their wokeness. Because as JP Da correctly said, no? If you don't learn from history, you know, you can't live in denial saying, okay, this happened 30 years back. Why are we're not asking you to live in the past. We're asking you to watch the past so that the past doesn't repeat itself in future.
Correct.
That is the biggest reason for everyone to watch it.
Absolutely. As a history, please, Samir.
Just one, there's a byproduct to this. Let us make this movie an unprecedented success. You know, we spent our hard-earned money watching stupid plots of people dancing around trees and rubbish going on, and they become 500-600 crore, 1,000 crore grossers. Let's make this movie an unprecedented success because it will encourage many more movie makers to come up with untold stories. Mopla riots, partition, Poneri Chitpavan Brahmins, Portuguese Inquisition of Goa and the Gaud Saraswat Brahmins, Naukhali riots, Delhi
Bengal fights, 46.
84.
Mumbai bomb blasts. So many untold stories are there, and it will encourage young people who otherwise would not have generated the courage to take this risk. Today, a clear, hard-hitting, heavy, brutal, gory, mind-numbing movie is becoming a success without song and dance, is a testimony to Janta's power. और ये सक्सेस बन गया तो मैं दावे के साथ कह सकता हूं, JP दा, Esha दी, that many more budding filmmakers will take up these topics, and one by one, we will be able to, will be busted.
How my feeling is very clear. Let this movie set an epitome example.
Exactly.
For other movies to come.
Yeah.
We can say someone had the guts to make Kashmir Files, and the other files which we just spoke about follow suit.
I just want to end. Yeah, बोलिए.
10 seconds, Esha.
हाँ.
एक interesting one-liner है basically. 6 दिन से लोग बड़े-बड़े A-listers चुप बैठे थे.
Suddenly all came up today.
आज सब ट्वीट करेंगे. देखो, कुछ लोगों ने शुरू किया है. ये सक्सेस की ताकत है. ये सक्सेस की ताकत है. ये सक्सेस की ताकत है. यदि ये पिक्चर नहीं चलती तो ऐसे ही दब जाती. आज ये बॉक्स ऑफिस सक्सेस है और इसने मजबूर कर दिया है सबको ट्वीट करने में. ये जनता की पावर का विक्ट्री है. ये विक्ट्री है.
सोशल मीडिया पावर.
Taran Adarsh and Sumit Kadel. And I want to thank Vivek Agnihotri ji. Sumit
Kadel also.
Yeah. Yes, he also. And Pallavi Joshi ji, salute. Anupam Kher ji, क्या बोलूं मैं? No words.
Nothing.
No words.
PV प्रधान का कैरेक्टर को एक स्टेप ऊपर ले गए सर. सारांश वाले his Pushkar Nath Pandit has gone a notch above.
Exactly.
I think this character will be remembered for a very, very long time.
We are running short of time. Don't miss it, friends. Dekho. And I really wish that I would be able to get Vivek Agnihotri ji to come to our channel and speak about the movie. Thank you, everyone.
We will.
अच्छा लगा तो शेयर कीजिए, सब्सक्राइब कीजिए.